This was the target, Pioneer Square, last night. They say their suspect wanted men, women, even children dead. But the plan began months ago. Court papers say there were several meetings between Muhammad and undercover agents where Muhammad laid out the plans for a bombing.
The threat was very, very real. There was no danger to the public, though, because of the way this case was worked.
Muhammad allegedly picked the location for the bomb, and the FBI says he also mailed bomb components to undercover agents and had a detailed plan of attack. Earlier this month, agents say Muhammad met with them in a remote area of Lincoln County for a trial run to practice blowing up a bomb with a cell phone. The FBI says the elaborate demonstration was actually controlled by them.
To be guilty of an attempt in the Ninth Circuit, you have to take a substantial step towards a crime. And so it was important that we gave the defendant every opportunity to say, you know, this is not actually something I want to do.
The U.S. District Attorney says Muhammad remained committed to a grand-scale attack.
We've trained for it. Our officers are prepared for anything.
A handful of Portland police officers helped the FBI. They made sure the van, loaded with fake explosives, had a place to park right across from the square at Yamhill and 6th. About 20 minutes before the tree lit up, around 5:40, authorities say Muhammad was in a car with an undercover agent blocks away at Union Station. He tried to detonate the van that he thought was a bomb with the cell phone. Then the agent allegedly told him he would have better luck if he tried outside the car. That's when Portland police arrested him.
This person had hooked up with the wrong people. We could have a real tragedy on our hands.
This case is a stark reminder that there are people, even here in Oregon, determined to kill Americans, but we have no reason to believe there's any ongoing threat.
Explosive device and more dangerous chemicals in the home of a California software consultant. George Jakubek is under arrest, accused of running a huge bomb factory, maybe one of the largest stashes of explosives of this kind ever found in the United States. Police say some of the chemicals in his house are still too dangerous to remove. They've got a real problem trying to figure out what to do with this place. James Kavanaugh is a retired special agent with the Federal Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. Apparently, this guy was working with a couple of explosives, kinds of explosives that we've come to know well, like PETN, the explosive that the underwear bomber tried to use to bring down that airplane with, right?
Well, that's right. And PETN is a very efficient industrial commercial explosive. And he had some of that material, but he clearly had a lot of this, 9 or 10 pounds of another explosive material called HMTD, which is another improvised concoction that this Jakubek was cooking up in his house and apparently setting off explosions in the yard for the past month.
We just had some aerial shots that showed what his garage looks like, and apparently the inside of the house is even worse. It is just crammed and cluttered with all kinds of stuff. He became a hoarder of some sort in addition to a bomb-making technician, according to authorities. And now I guess it's really tough to even move in the house because just the slightest bit of friction or a spark can set off these explosives.
Right, John, exactly. They're extremely dangerous. I mean, for the bomb squad to have to maneuver in this filthy hoarder's hovel, as I describe it, and then to have to encounter these very dangerous improvised mixtures. I mean, he's a dangerous and unstable character, and he's mixing up this devil's brew of dangerous and unstable explosives. And he likely has some fantastical plot, building on his past bank robberies, which he's now charged with.
Right, we have some pictures on the screen right now of bank robberies that he's accused of participating in. Go ahead.
Right, and he's likely to have some plot on his computer that law enforcement will break the code for, where it's some almost Hollywood plot that will sound ridiculous, where he would somehow employ these explosives possibly in a bank robbery. We all remember the horrible Connecticut case with the family was murdered and the collar bomb in Pennsylvania. So these bank robbers come up with some wild plots as well. And of course, it could be anything, murder, revenge. He's sort of a mad scientist character as well, but probably some criminal purpose, some fantastical plot.
So domestic terrorism, but not necessarily religiously motivated Islamic-style terrorism.
Right, but that's exactly right. This guy doesn't appear to be a terrorist, and he doesn't appear to be motivated by those kind of things, more criminal activity. But one interesting fact is, and you alluded to it earlier, John, was this HMTD. We did not see this stuff for years This was not an explosive we came across frequently in the United States, because we'd come across commercial explosives, dynamite, military explosives, flash powder, some other homemade materials. But now, with the advent of the internet, what Al-Qaeda is doing worldwide with its affiliates, they're pressing this stuff on the internet, these concoctions like these peroxide mixtures, HMTD and PETN, and now anyone who logs on finds out that they can make it. The problem with it is, it's like getting up every morning and kissing a cobra on the head. It works out for a while, but if that cobra decides to kiss back, it's going to be a bad day for you. And being a bomber or an improvised manufacturer like this character is a very dangerous occupation. Remember, the gardener's injured as well.
Right. The gardener apparently brushed up against some of this stuff that was in the backyard, caused an explosion that hurt him pretty badly. All right.
Right.
Well, and just so our viewers know, the homes next door have been evacuated as well to try to keep the neighborhood safe. James Kavanaugh, thank you.